Hey gang, Nakia Brooks here, and we are in part 4, our last video on how to price properties. And in video 1, we talked about the 4 things that you need to price properties. Video 2, we went into Georgia MLS and we learned how to pull those properties and those comparables for us to get an average sales price and an average list price. We did it in FMLS in volume 3, and today we're going to bring it all together in video number 4 and explain to you why we do what we do. Now, why do we pull comps the way we pull them? Well, if you pull them the way an appraiser pulls them, then you have less opportunities for low valuations. You have less opportunity for arguments on pricing, and you're looking at the property the way an appraiser would look at the property. Therefore, you're going to be very close to the value when it comes to time to getting appraisals done. So let's look at some things that we've looked at over the last 3 videos and go to how we close it all together. So now, the first thing we looked at was it takes 4 things to do comps: subdivision, schools, year built, and square footage. We spoke about pulling the tax records and it looks like this, and we talked about marking it up so that we have our square footage here, we have our year built, we have our schools, we have our subdivision. We spoke about greatschools.org on how you can get great information on the schools, very helpful for buyers, but also gives us the ability to find out which schools are assigned to that particular subdivision. We went in and we pulled comps. We pulled comps for Georgia MLS. These comps are Georgia MLS for the subdivision. We pulled the comps for Georgia MLS for the outside the subdivision in the elementary school district. We pulled comps from FMLS inside the subdivision, and we pulled comps from FMLS in the school district. Now, how do we get to this, right? Well, what we do is we do what I call baselines. And very simple, we're taking the average sales price, the average list price first, and we're going to take the average list price from Georgia MLS, and we're going to take them from FMLS. We're going to take the average sales price from inside the subdivision and outside the subdivision, and we're going to do baselines from inside the subdivision and outside the subdivision, and then we're going to get those baselines to do what we need to do for our listings. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to kind of put them like this. Now, inside Georgia MLS, inside the subdivision, there was 2 properties that were listed for an average list price of $502. FMLS, there was 4. That's why we want to do both listing services so we can get all the comps. The average list price in FMLS with 4 was $519,743. This is what people want for their property, guys. This is what they want. Now, back 6 months ago in the summer of 2022, we were just putting it on the market. We're flying by the seat of our pants. It was worth $300, but we were putting $500 on the list price. We were getting $520 because there was no inventory. We're starting to see regular numbers come around. Now, below this is the sales, right? This is the sales outside the subdivision, right? For active list price, there was no solds, by the way, in the subdivision in Georgia MLS or FMLS. Outside the subdivision, there's 2 for sale for $479 was the average of 84 days listed. In FMLS, it was $479,900. The same 2 properties listed for 86 days listed. What does that tell us, guys? We've overpriced the market. Now we're trying to chase the market to the price that we need. Because look here, outside the subdivision, right, closed. The outside the subdivision closed in Georgia MLS is $461,800. Outside the subdivision for FMLS is $461,800. Right? So we know that you're seeing here in the average days when they're priced appropriately, our average sales price of days on market is 14 for Georgia MLS, 18 for FMLS. So if we price properties appropriately to begin with, and I guarantee if we look at these that are active, they've been on the market for quite some time. So what do we want to do? We want to look at the solds here. We want to go back, and this is all done before we go to the property, guys. Now, when we come here to the Georgia MLS outside the schools, all right, we're going to look at 191 Jackson Avenue. We're going to pull that listing number up, and we're going to look at all the photos in it. We're going to go to 140 Jackson Avenue, which is actually the subdivision across the street from this particular property. We're going to look at Thornhill, which is a subdivision 2 streets over. We're going to look at Downing. We're going to look at Durham Drive. We're going to look at all of those photos so that when we go to the subject property at 409 Juniper Court, we're looking at apples to apples and not apples to oranges. Now, same thing with FMLS. It's the same address, same addresses. So we're going to look at those 5 properties. We're going to pull them up in the listing services. We're going to look at them. Now, that baseline sales price in both of them show us that the average sales price is $461,800. That is our baseline. So when we go to 409 Juniper Court and we look at that price, is that property better than those 5 that have sold, or is this property worse than those properties that sold? And we deviate from the baseline 5%. Only 5%. So we're going to go up 5% or we're going to go down 5%. Guys, this is how the appraisers are doing this. They're going and pulling the comps. They're looking at the comps. If they call you and say, hey, I'm the appraiser and I'm looking for properties in your area, and please help me understand how you got your pricing. If you do it the same way every single time, you print out all 4 of those printouts and you're able to articulate how you got there, maybe the appraiser, maybe there was a for sale by owner in the subdivision that you knew about that they didn't see. Maybe there was some other circumstances that you were able to articulate that they didn't see, because they're going to pull the numbers just like I've shown you in these 4 videos. Then they're going to go look at the property. They're going to look at that baseline up or down, just like I was explaining to you. And that's how they're going to arrive at their appraised value. And so it's really, really important for us to do comps the same way every single time. I've done it this way. Thousands and thousands of listings I've done this way. And it gives me the ability to really drill in within 5%. Guys, if you have questions, please reach out to me. Ask questions because I can help you. This is really that simple. Each of those videos were less than 10 minutes. I pulled these comps literally in about 3 to 5 minutes because I'm not overthinking. I'm not looking at the number of bedrooms. I'm not looking at baths. I'm not looking at things that don't matter to us. I'm looking at the key things. I'm looking at what has sold, and then I'm going to go to the subject property and I'm going to compare that to the things that have sold, and I'm going to make my determination on what we feel like we can sell this property for. It's literally that simple. If you're spending hours upon hours looking at all the minute details, you're going to get lost in what you're there for. It's for you to help you get this client's home sold for the most amount of money in the quickest amount of time. But number 2, and most importantly to me, is protecting your client at all costs, because you have the information in hand every single time. If you have any questions, my contact information will be below. I look forward to helping you. I hope you found value in this 4-part series. Let me know what you'd like for me to talk about next, because I'm here to help you be a better person, a better agent, and a better servant to your clients that are going to help this real estate industry grow and grow and grow. Have a great day.